Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Another quick game of Interplanetary I Spy here. Now, this is what looks like a structure that wasn't found by me. This was, I think, first discovered by Mikey Scrøder Jensen over at the Zoom Club. I'll show you a link. There will be a link in this to his video, actually. I think it's a cool video. This is the video here from the Zoom Club. Smoking gun, ancient constructions found on Mars update. Now, this was, I think, part 2 of his original find from the day before, or so 1 or 2 days earlier. He did a video, and I think he sort of did a remake and then turned the thing round a bit and did some enhancements, that kind of thing. I do recommend this channel, great channel. I do follow the Zoom Club. Mikey often comes up some pretty cool stuff, well worth a look. You follow them on Facebook and stuff like that as well. Well worth it. So I'll put a link to this in my video and in the description. Now, first of all, I'll show you the. Now, this is from a large image. I'll show you the actual image that I've got here. Now, this is a slightly different one, I think, to the one that Mikey might have used in that video. But there's a whole bunch of them. There's like 20 different versions of this image. Some are infrared, some are merged infrared, some are RGB, some are JP2, some are normal JPEGs. Some of them are just too big to actually work with. They won't open on your desktop, that kind of thing. But this was a reasonably good version of it. Now, this is about 4.5 megabytes, so it's quite large, it's not huge. And the area we're looking at is over here. We got this sort of ridge line here of sand and sediment, and right here we have the anomaly. Now, when you look at it from this angle, it doesn't look like much at all, but you can see, if you look carefully, some what look like rectangular or rectilinear structures with like a wall and a few possibly buried walls and that kind of thing, structures. Now, it's not easy to work out when you look at it this way around. You've really got to turn the image around, so I did this as well. Here's the first clip I did, and you can see it here. Now, I've obviously flipped it round so you can see it, and there's these interesting bright spots as well, which may or may not be anything of note. But from this angle, it really does look like a buried structure with a large wall here and some rectilinear walls here. Now, this is completely raw. Now, I'll show you the page. There will be a link to the page here. And I think the one I got was this one down here, which was the one that says 46 to 905. That one there, I think that's the 4.5 meg one. Because some of these are really quite large and you may not be able to open them. But you can pick and choose. Now, bear in mind that a lot of this is infrared information. Now, I did notice on the Zoom Club's video here that Neville Thompson, who's the cool guy who does all the Gigapan stuff, is giving him a link to the higher res version. Now, when you look at the higher res version, which I'll show you in a minute, it does look quite different, which is here. Okay, but before we go to that, I'm going to show you my enhancements. So here's the raw clip from the JPEG. Here's a smaller clip, a bit closer. Now I've just selected it and darkened it. There's the negative. There's more enhanced version there, brighter. Let's go back to now. I think this was the last one I did. Now, I've done quite a lot of work on this. I've gone in there, I've really upped the contrast, and I've used the burn tool a little bit on these edges, just to bring out these edges here, these bright edges. And there's clearly some structures here. Now the thing is, what we may be seeing here are buried structures, because obviously an infrared camera will pick up heat from the ground. Now, if this is an entrance to an underground city or something on Mars, which it may or may not be, then the sun's reflection on this possible stonework here would heat it up, making it show through the area of sand that may be over it, or, I mean, it's probably half buried at least, I would have thought, by the looks of it. When you go to the raw image, you can see there's a lot of sediment here. There could have been a landslip or something. This may have been a much more exposed than this. Some of it may have got covered up, or some of it may have become unexposed by the wind. The wind may have blown the sand away. As I've said many times before, these things are just as likely to be uncovered as covered up by the weather and by the elements. So, but even in the raw image, you can see there's something interesting there, but this is not the highest quality JPEG here. But this particular one is an infrared image. So what we may be seeing are buried structures. A lot of this may be, this more vague stuff in the center here, may be buried by sand. And we're actually seeing through it. So I'll just go through my enhancements again and show you. I'll put some clips in at the end of the video anyway, so you can pause this and have a closer look. But it does look interesting. There does seem to be what look like intelligent structures here under this stuff. I mean, what I've done here is I've burnt through the image slightly to try and see what's behind it, and I've really pumped up the contrast. So, and there's the negative. You can see them in the negative image as well. These look like intelligent structures of a buried building. Now, whether this is an entrance or just a ruined building, don't know. It could well be natural, but to me, it does look intelligently designed and has some symmetry and right angles in there, which don't usually happen in nature, although lots of people seem to think they do. But if it was just one right angle, maybe, but when you've got multiple sort of right angular structures here in one place, I think this is probably intelligent. If it was just one, you could probably write it off as coincidence, but it's not. And even when you look at it around this way, you can tell there's something interesting here. But I do appreciate this is quite a blurred image. So there we have it. I'll go back to this. Now this is the Gigapan by Neville Thompson. Now he's the guy who does all these, who's really cool, big fan of his. I'll go full screen with this and we'll take a closer look. Now apparently this is from taken from a higher res image, so you can see more detail to start with. And I'm going to zoom in. And this is completely as it comes. I haven't done anything to this. Now he may have white balanced this or something, or just played with the contrast a bit before putting these images together, or afterwards. Don't really know. So this is not raw, but you can see a little bit more detail here. Does it look more natural now? It does look more natural. But as I said, if this is an infrared image, this may well be a buried structure. And that does look like a very unnatural angle here. And this is quite straight, this structure here. So this may not prove it's more natural. When you zoom into this, you don't see the same structures in the same way. They look more natural, but they still could be a buried building, because if this is infrared, we are seeing into the ground. Now, sand and soil, especially sand, is actually not a complete solid. It's semi-translucent material, and solid structures, if they're heated up by the sun, will show through sand if they're near enough to the surface and they're warm enough. So as I've said before, and this is even the case with the Curiosity rover images, the camera, the mass cam on the Curiosity rover sees into near infrared. It's not completely infrared like some of the cameras on the HiRISE that took this, but it will see partly into the infrared spectrum, so it will pick up things which are below the sand. If the sand is quite thin on the ground, it will pick up structures. So there we have it. What do you think? Is it a building? I will do a clip of this and enhance that as well and see what happens with that. I'll stick it in at the end. Let's get rid of it. Let's escape from there a minute. So I'll just show you in my thing here. Hang on a minute. Sorry, my fan's just going there. If you hear a whirring noise, that's just my fan going. I'll show you in here. Here's the enhanced version I've done. I'll get it nice and close there. So yes, now it may turn out that some of this is just natural, but to me there's too many rectilinear and right-angled structures here for it to be a natural formation. But I could be wrong. Now this is the problem when you have different types of cameras taking different types of information. Easy to get confused. I will put all the links to all these different things in the description for you, so you can check them yourself. And clip the image, download it, clip it, enhance it, have a look yourself. These things are down to interpretation, and many people are determined for us not to find anything on Mars and troll these videos like hell, saying there's nothing there but rocks. But if there's nothing there but rocks, why are they putting a DNA testing kit on the next rover that's going up there? What are they going to use it for? So you've got to ask some serious questions, and we're never told the whole story when it comes to these things. We all know that. We all know that NASA like to mislead us here and there. They're not all bad people. I think some of them may be. So they're not. It's not all complete lies and BS that they give us. I think some of it is, a lot of it's genuine. But they do obfuscate the images. We know that. We know they fake sand. You've only got to look at some of my recent videos to see that they've done that. So there we go. I'll leave it there, and I'll put some more clips in on the end of the video so you can have a closer look. And I'll have a link to Mikey's video here as well. And I will be getting back to Pluto in a day or so. And I've been doing some cooperative work with Chris from Mars Anomalies. We've been going through some of these images together recently, which has been really cool. Thanks to him a lot for that. We've been comparing notes on a lot of these anomalies on Pluto. So more to come on that in a day or so. Stay tuned. Lots more to come. And if you want to keep an eye on Pluto, which I do every day, I keep a very close eye on what NASA are uploading. This is the page you want. This is the. Now you can get this from my app. NASA Last 7 Days Images is called. So if you download my free app, there will be a link in the description for this app. You go to Last 7 Days Images, just click on that, and it will take you to this. And this would basically give you everything that NASA have uploaded in the last 7 days. And a lot of this is high quality stuff, like TIFF images and proper good quality images, not the crappy little JPEGs that we normally get. So, and there's all sorts of stuff. We got the Kepler stuff here. We've got obviously we've got New Horizons, Pluto and Charon. We've got the Dawn Project, Ceres. We've got Mars, obviously Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. We've got all sorts of stuff coming in here. There's the Mars Odyssey image. There's everything you could want. Even pictures of Earth. There's Cassini-Huygens. There's moon images. There's everything you can imagine. So this is really probably the most useful link to have for NASA, because it keeps you up to date on everything they're uploading, which you may miss otherwise, and you can just download stuff as it comes in and check it out. So this is really good. So this will keep you up to date with pretty much everything. It's probably the most useful one to have, and you will get all the new stuff from Ceres and Pluto and Charon and all the latest things. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope that wasn't too long. I'll see you soon.